Hello, beer tubers, and welcome to another beer review with me, Peter, the master of hobbits.
Yeah, joined by
Brett. That was a weird intro. I've had my seats. We're drinking some, I guess, somewhat hyped U.S. beer from Jester King. At least it's, I don't know how hyped this is anymore. At one point, I remember just this being really, really hyped. And I think we've tried it once or twice at Mikkeller Beer Celebration. But yeah, this will be once. But I think actually before we tried this, we tried the whole. That was a cherry one. They did a one with this where it was cherries.
Montmorency versus Balaton.
But that was actually not with the.
That's cherry versus cherry.
Yeah, but whatever. Yeah. We're drinking Atrial Rubicite. That was how you said it, right?
I think so.
Atrial Rubicite. Atrial Rubicite. Atrial Rubicite. No.
Atrial Rubicite.
Atrial Rubicite. But this is one of Jester King's most famous beers. It's one of the beers that put Jester King on the map. It's a wild ale with an abundance of raspberries. This is the 2021 vintage from May last year, so this is a little bit more than a year old. It's 5.1%, unfiltered, unpasteurized, barrel matured sour beer, as it says. I don't know if this is spontaneous. A lot of modern Jester King beers are spontaneously fermented. They're doing the whole lambic thing, and I must say, Jester King rules at making these beers. They're fantastic. I think their whole Moderne Denk series is some of the best cherry-focused beer to come out of the U.S. in a long time.
I agree.
And that's not just because we're Danes. It's a wonderful beer.
Yeah.
Also, a big shout out to Morten Muggi behind the camera who's sharing this with us. But yeah, this will be a really fun beer to check out. Also because years ago, Nathan Ryerson and Joe's Arcade did a little battle with this and Framboos from Driefonteinen, and these just from here it smells like much different beers. This smells much more fruit forward, whereas Driefonteinen is lambic and often much more funky. But let's see how this one is. But beautiful beer. That must be a lot of raspberries.
It looks like raspberry jam.
Yes. It is.
It's dark like a creek.
Yeah, it's a dark ruby red color with a pink head. I mean, the saturation of berry must be crazy and you can smell it from here. So, I'm not expecting this to have crazy complexities in terms of funk, but I'm expecting it to have loads of fruit. Yeah. Which can also be good. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it's a beautiful beer to look at.
I can smell it from here.
Yeah, me too. It smells like raspberry vitamin pills from here to me. Yeah. Let's check out the aroma.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. It almost stings your nostrils. It's really sharp raspberry. Raspberry is also really sour, so that's what I'm fearing. But initially it doesn't smell too sour.
It smells like a mixture of really fresh raspberries, but also raspberry jam.
But if you compare this to Framboos, as far as what I remember, this is just so different because this is
much more fruitful.
This is more Americanized, all in on fruit, whereas the lambics, or especially Framboos, is much more a focus on, of course, lots of fruit, but also a balance with funk and barrel aging. This is almost all fruit.
Yeah, and a little bit of a woody.
Yeah, woody oakiness, but that's not a bad thing. I guess it's just a preference thing. But it's raspberry compote. It's almost like when you smell Schramm's meads in terms of just compote, marmalade-y fruit.
Yeah, it smells like raspberry marmalade.
I'm getting a slight medicinal quality, but I sometimes get that from raspberries. So maybe that's just the berry.
But I like that
earthiness.
It doesn't smell too light and astringent.
Yeah.
It still.
I'd rather have
smells more compact.
Yeah, I'd rather have it be compact and jammy and compote than astringent and super sour fruity.
Yeah, exactly.
Which you sometimes get with American sours.
Yes.
But yeah, it's full on fruit. I'm not getting much funk. It's more maybe a touch of a dry woodiness or something. But it's full on fruit.
Yeah. Yeah, I think fruit and barrel.
But pure fresh fruit.
Yeah.
It smells fresh.
Great.
Yeah, great. It's fresh, amazing raspberry aroma.
And actually also a hint of the seeds.
Yeah, a slight tannic, raspberry seed type thing.
Yeah.
Smells really good.
Yes.
Let's try it.
Cheers.
Cheers. Thanks for sharing, Morten. loads of raspberry. This is a sharer. It has really high acidity, but it's not too much.
I think it cuts.
It
Where
cuts,
it should.
but it's one of those beers that I think with more than a year of age, it will be borderline too much. Where a lot of the fruit sugars are just gone. Like with beers like this, a lot of the like sweet fruity flavors just disappear over time. I think partially they're fermented away by wild bacteria because they're unpasteurized and everything. So you get like a more sour, intense.
I think it's pretty well balanced now, or it is.
Yeah, but up front it's really sharp because it's raspberry.
Yeah, but it's not too much, you know. It's just like eating a fresh raspberry, but then it kind of, cuts where it should. You know, it doesn't go overboard.
Yeah, it's really nice. It's really jammy. It's really tannic too. Really drying tannic profile.
Yeah.
But I will say I'm getting to a point with sour beers that like this is the max for me nowadays. Like I don't want much more sourness than this. This is the where I'm thinking like this is it's enjoyable for me, but much more, and I will have like a taster glass and I'm done. Just because I feel
probably
like
agree, but I think it cuts, you know, where it should.
But
right
it's
now.
one of the things with a lot of American sours is that they have this level of really sharp sourness, especially when there's a lot of fruit and with age. Where I feel like that's something in terms of newer releases from Jester King that they are more like lambics. Like they are more balanced. They have more like different complexities of funk and whatnot. Like if you drink some of the spuns, they're just like really, really wonderful beers that if I drank them blind, I would think they were lambic. This is something blind I would immediately think an American style sour beer because it's super high on intensity of fruit and it's fairly sharply sour and
like
there's very light funk and then it's a really nice tannic quality. It's a really nice open. I mean, it's a really fucking great beer. It sounds like I'm not too into it. But it's just like comparing, you know, this way of making wild and funky and spontaneously fermented beers, even though I don't know if this is spontaneously fermented, to another schooling of doing it. And I like when there's a lot of fruit, but I also want like more funk than this, and I want more barrel and because I think that gives more complexity. And this is like for me something where it's really awesome and tasty, but like you lose a lot because there's so much fruit as well. So it's tough to strike the balance.
Yeah, I just think, you know, it's a lot of fruit complexity. And then you have a little bit of barrel and not really any funky character.
I don't think there's any funk to me. There's some raspberry vinegar reduction type thing, like almost a raspberry balsamic vinegar. But it's just like different types of like sour raspberry flavors galore with tannins and oak.
But the raspberry flavors, you know, it's really nice what it's there.
Yeah, it's an amazing raspberry flavor. I'll say that as well. But I would much rather drink a more well-balanced, more funky beer. I'd much rather drink some of their spuns. But I still think it's really, really fucking good. But like I think, or just like Modana Dansk. Modana Dansk was more funky than this too.
And also just more complex.
No, I think this is a wonderful beer. I'm gonna give it a 93. 93 I think. Like I really dig it, but I just want some more funkiness and more complexities. Like for me it's just a lot of fruit and sourness. Not maybe lots of sour. It's a good amount of sourness, but I just want more funk.
It's a medium
I
plus
want more
sourness.
barrel. I want more like right now it's just lots of fruit cordial or intense like compote
Jammy.
like jammy raspberry with sourness. There's not much other things than that. Like I'd rather have something where it's like big funk, big barrel flavor, maybe softer complexities. Again, like their Spun series, I prefer those over this.
Yeah, I probably agree.
And not that it's bad in any way, shape, or form. It's fucking awesome.
93 isn't a
A
bad
great
beer
grade.
at all.
But I think a lot of people would give this higher grades because of the intense fruit flavor.
But also because this beer, like overall, has been really hyped the last few years. But you know, and what it does is really great.
Yeah, it does it really well.
It doesn't do more than what it does.
But I think it depends on what you're looking for.
Yeah.
If you're looking for a sour beer with lots of fruit flavor, this is it. But if you're looking for sour beer with more complexities, this is not it.
And more elegance.
Yeah. This is like it's kind of like it's very American style, like screaming
Super
in your
American.
face and intense. But yeah, this was still really, really nice. So it's fun to take. But this was also one of the first where they started doing all these like wild ales and like where they really got into it. And one of the first that really got hype. And it is really good as well. So yeah, if you guys had a chance to try Atrial Rubicite, I think I nailed it. Let me know or let us know what you thought of it. What's your preference in terms of these kind of beers? Do you want this intense fruit flavor? Do you want more funk? What do you want? Let us know. And as always, remember to comment, subscribe, check the Facebook fan page and Twitter and Instagram. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Ring the bell for future notifications about videos. And we're going to say cheers.
Yeah. Cheers.
And see you guys in another beer review.